Listen, before you watch this video, I need you to like and subscribe, man. The goal is to get as many college coaches to this platform as possible to get these kids scholarships. So in order to do that, I need you to like and subscribe to this video and even share it. What up, my boy?
What up, man?
So nothing much. It's nothing much, man. How you feeling? How you feeling? You can hear me?
Me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Say something.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
can hear you now.
Good.
Yeah. How you feeling though?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
Appointment went well yesterday. I appreciate you rescheduling that.
For sure.
So
Hey, listen, I'm big on like being whatever I say
yeah,
on what time. I'm big on that, but like I know that's health. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm serious about health. So
yeah.
that was like I was like, yeah, that was like a non-negotiable for me. So
I
it's
appreciate it. I'm
yeah,
the same way. I'm big on time too, and my wife handles my schedule. I really don't look at it a lot,
got you.
and I just lost track of it. But
Okay.
man, we here now though.
Yeah,
We
for
get
sure.
to talk about it
We
now.
finna go home. We gonna give them something to talk about for the rest of the day, man.
Yeah.
You hold on. I'm looking at the flyer right now. So how long you been in the game, in the field, as far as like basketball scene and stuff
Yeah.
like that? That way
So
people know like you somewhat credible on what we about to talk about.
yes. So I started Hoop DFW in 2014.
Got you.
So back in 2014, started writing. I'm a writer. I love writing. I'm a writer. Love basketball. Played basketball, high school, elite high school basketball.
Okay.
Then went on to play Division III basketball at Eternal University out in East Texas.
Yep.
So I started Hoop DFW. You said what?
Longview.
Man, come on.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand it there though.
Yeah.
Hated it there. I couldn't do it. I'm
If
from the
you're a
city, man. So
if you're a city boy,
yeah.
it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
My senior year was in Miami. I was in Miami, Florida. So you go from Miami to Longview. That's just a huge adjustment,
Right.
you know. But yeah, I started in 2014. I started writing. The very first event that I evaluated was Pangos. It was the 2014 Pangos camp.
With Dino?
You said what? Dinos,
Dino?
yes. Yep. TJ Starks, CJ Roberts. I don't think PJ was at that camp. He might have been at the next year.
Okay.
But but it was, it was the top camp here. And started evaluating, started putting my content out on Twitter. Then it's X now. And college coaches just started following. They started following. And then they started reaching out, wanting to know about players, wanting to know about, and started my scouting service in 2015. So 2015 to 2018 had a scouting service. Had a camp like Pangos, but locally for Dallas only kids.
Got you.
And then 2019 to about 2019 and last year I took a break, went through a divorce, I need to get my personal life together.
Right.
But I was always moonlighting. I was always in the background. I was still having conversations with college coaches, still connecting with them. So when I came back last summer at TABC, it was like, just being around everyone that had already known me. And then, most of those guys were low assistants then. Some are now head coaches. Some are associate head coaches. And so, built a really good reputation and rapport with coaches that recruit the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Got you. So we're going to kind of go ahead and kind of jump into it. So you said you're a writer. So
Yeah.
I feel like me personally, I don't like write-ups.
Gotcha.
That's just me personally. Like I like video. Like I like to see like film doesn't lie. Like yes, a mixtape can give you false hope, but like I feel like actual raw footage,
Yeah.
it doesn't lie to
Right.
you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I feel like write-ups can be lied. Like that's you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it could be a bold-faced lie.
Absolutely.
So it's just kind of like what I think about write-ups. It's kind of like, yes, it's your opinion. I feel like with video, it's not an opinion. It's kind of it's either you got it or you don't got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like with a write-up, I feel like it's optional. You know what I'm saying? It's opinionated. Now, going to your talks about it, paying for a write-up. So I actually had this conversation with somebody else, and he gave a great perspective on paying for a write-up. And I was like, dang, I didn't think about it like that. So let's say, for instance, Jason Key, right? He on the girls' side. Let's say Jason
Yep.
Key, right?
Yep.
He goes to a game that he's already going to, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what if a coach say, "Hey, come check out my game," but he's already going to another game? Do you feel like it's wrong to be like, "Hey, I give you 20, just come check them out"? You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily not saying pay to write them up. That's just saying pay to come
Yeah.
look. So do you feel like it's a difference in that?
So I do. So here's my personal. So write-ups, evaluating scouting has been around since the 60s, the 70s.
Right.
Tom Konchowski, he died. I can't remember when he died. He died recently. Let's say within the last 10 years.
Okay.
Would be the godfather of evaluating scouting, and he had every college coach in America asking him, because everyone can't be everywhere. But
Right.
when you have a scouting service, because there's a difference between a recruiting service and a scouting service. A scouting service is contracted by the school, by the university.
Okay.
The university, I send the university an invoice.
Mm-hmm.
They send me back a W-9, and I become a contracted employee of the university, and I send them my scouting reports.
Right.
Recruiting service is the opposite. I'm going to charge the parent to get in front of the coach.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one where the problem lies. We have lost the definition of scouting service, recruiting
Okay.
service. One works for college, the one where I don't work for the parent.
Got it.
I don't work for the parent. So in my opinion, is it wrong? If your business is a recruiting service, I don't feel that it's wrong. But the main thing here that we're focused on is credibility. The
Okay.
word is credibility. I saw the paying for the write-up. Somebody sent me a post, a DM from someone. Like several scouts these days are getting are hitting parents about, hey, I'll write about your kid if you give me. But the biggest question is, what relationships does that person have? Do
Mm-hmm.
do they have the relationship with the school?
Right.
I can get on the phone right now and call a school, and 9 times out of 10, because of my credibility, my accuracy over the years, not just over, oh, I'm just writing and I'm going to send it to you. I can call, and a coach will track a kid. I can't say a coach will offer a
Right.
kid, but more than likely I can get a coach to track a kid.
Right.
He can track a kid. But why? My question is, why do you have to be paid to go to an event? Where where is the where is the hustle and the credibility? Why do you have to charge the parent and not the university? Why can't you? Because again, the NCAA has an application. You can submit your application
Mm-hmm.
and become an approved scouting service. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that way, I mean, you have some scouting services that are $1,500, $1,000, and I mean, and let's just say you have 50 schools at
Right.
$1,000. That's $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to charge a coach $20 to come to the gym? If you're
Not.
getting
I
50,
wouldn't necessarily say a coach. I would say.
or a parent, but why? I guess why is it that a parent has to pay me to watch the kid? If I'm saying I'm a scouting
Right.
service, my job is to evaluate talent. Why do I have to be paid by a parent to do that?
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Absolutely,
Um.
absolutely.
So say for instance, I go to the gym.
Yeah,
Right. I go to the gym. I film probably. I say it's probably like. I say 10 a team. I probably film like 6 or 7 games.
yeah,
Right. So with each game, that's 20 times 7. That's what 42.
yeah, yeah.
420. That's four. So basically, I've watched 420 players, right? And
Thank
let's
you,
just say that's just one game.
thank you.
So think about it. It's thousands of kids. So, but I only touched
Right.
420 from filming one game. And this is just me, like, people paying me to come film that game. Me just kind of floating
Yeah,
around
yeah,
filming games. So it's not like, say for instance, I missed that game. I feel like that's where the pay comes in, because it's like it's a guarantee that I'm going to come to your game. It's not a guarantee when I walk in that building unless you paid me to come film. that I'm coming to film your game. So I feel like that's where the write-ups, paying for the write-ups, I guess, or paying for the film to get you exposure to the
Right.
college level.
So
So that
no, go ahead, go ahead, go
no, no,
ahead.
I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but you provide a service of videoing games, and I will say, your service, you provide more of a highlight service versus mixtapes, music, entertainment. So there's the entertainment of mixtapes. Mixtapes fall into the entertainment
Oh,
industry.
absolutely.
That's
Yes.
entertainment. I have never, in all of my time doing this, I have
Mm.
never had a coach call me and say, "Oh, I saw this mixtape. Who is this kid?" It's never happened.
I wish kids would and
It's
parents would
never happened.
realize that like those simple highlights that I post probably get more traction than your mixtape with all the effects on it to a college coach.
Exactly,
It,
because you're showing actual game film. You're showing actual game movement. Now it's edited to highlight that player, but you're showing that player as a basketball
yep,
player.
yep,
Mixtapes are entertainment.
right.
It is for entertainment. It is for views. It is for I'm at laying down at night. I'm scrolling. I can watch mixtapes.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
but again, going back to the write-up situation, it's about credibility. It is about your credibility. It is about and here's another thing that I want to say to that. Uh, the numbers the numbers say that every kid is not going to go play college basketball. So why then does every parent feel like their kid deserves to be wrote about?
So I'm with you there. Do you believe there's a school for everybody if you put in the work to go play basketball?
The numbers say that there is not. The actual numbers, the percentages, over 500,000. So if we do girls and boys, because you're on the girl side, you're on the boy side too,
Right.
but you're really on the
Girl
girl side.
side.
If we do boys and girls together, that's over 900,000 kids playing high school basketball. Almost a million children playing high school basketball. Is there a million spots in college?
Nah, that makes sense. But I feel like every kid doesn't want to go play at that next level. Like
They don't.
I've interviewed kids, and I'd be like, and they was good. They was good. Like I could see them playing in college, and they was like, oh, I don't want to go play. I was like, dang, it shocked me because like the culture that I come from, it's kind of like, dang, like why am I hooping? Especially like in AAU select stuff.
Yeah,
Like I've seen it. Like I interview kids, and they was like, I'm just doing this.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
I mean, but you're a hooper though. You are. See, you're a basketball player.
right.
You're not just playing. You're not just playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up. I mean, look at what you do with your companies, your brand right now.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are doing that? How many
Right, right.
people are up late at night doing the videos, editing the videos, putting in the work, driving to the gyms? I go to the gym. I started the gym 9 times out of 10. I'm at the gym before most people are even there outside of the event staff.
Oh yeah, I usually get there like an hour
But
early.
but but,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. You're not playing.
Yeah.
You're not a player. I'm
True.
not a player.
True.
There's a difference. You're a basketball lifer. I'm a basketball lifer. But the reality is that there isn't. Every kid is not going to go play college basketball, whether that is because they want to or not. But some kids are over. It's life, and we've gotten away from the point of life is life. I am 40 years old now. I have a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Everything does not go my way on my job.
Right.
Everything does not go my way in life. But when it comes to this sports stuff, because of the participation trophy era, everybody feels like I'm supposed to receive something
Yep.
because I did
Yep.
something.
Yep.
We have mixtapes of kids who scored 4 points in a game. Why in the hell do you need a mixtape and you scored 4 points in a game?
4 points.
We have mixtapes. We have reached the era of games where teams are getting blown out by 50, and the losing team, the kid has
Yep.
mixtapes. My teammates, there's no way in hell they would be like, oh yeah, that's a dope mixtape, even though we lost by 50.
Yeah. I think it's a sense of like, who did I
Being
interview? I think
a basketball
I
player is the
interviewed Jermaine O'Neal, and
yeah.
he was like, it's a difference between liking it and loving it. And I feel like a lot of kids just kind of like the
They
sport. You know what I'm saying?
don't listen, man. Listen, I've been around NBA players when they were in high school, NBA players when they're in NBA, but I've been around the elite of basketball players. And kids that I thought would make it, I've seen them at the bar in Fort Worth as security at the bar in Fort Worth. Kids that were on scholarship, kids that have played in my all-star game, kids that I wrote about, recognized they had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scholarship offers, and they are doing absolute nothing now. Absolutely nothing. It's not a guarantee.
Right.
And I don't know if it's like we're trying to take the guarantee or the guessing out of it. I don't know what it is because the thing is I stepped away for a little bit.
Right.
But then when I came back, so much had changed so quickly, but a lot of it is fluff and it's fake. It's not even real. It's not real. I had Donnie Beecham, who's an agent for Octagon Sports.
Yep.
I recently played at Madison, played at UTA, played overseas. He was a trainer, but now he's an agent for Octagon Sports. Octagon, some of their clients, Giannis, Trae Young, big time agency. We did an interview on my podcast. It'll be coming out soon. But he said this, and it makes some parents are really, really into the fantasy of it and not the reality of it.
What's the fantasy of it?
All of this mixtape garbage. I'm going to a tournament. I'm shooting every shot. I have a mixtape. It makes me look like I'm not shooting every shot. It makes me look like I'm not playing good basketball. And then I send this to Charles Campbell with Hoop DFW, and you're supposed to like my kid. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And the NIL, we're not even going to go into the NIL has gotten out of control when the reality is most NIL deals are less than $300. Parents are into the fantasy of it instead of the reality of you need to work in the gym. You need to be in the gym working. You need to be working on your game. You need to be getting better. Your grades need to be at a certain point. You as a person, your character as a basketball player needs to be at a certain point. College coaches, these coaches still they haven't, you talk to them all the time, I talk to them all the time. They haven't changed. They haven't changed. Yeah. They have not changed. The only thing that's changed is you can get a mixtape, you can buy a write-up, you can have 100,000 followers on Instagram. Prime example. If into the fantasy and not the reality. And I'm not trying to bash the kid, no. Julian Newman.
Okay.
The most visible kid on social media, Mikey Williams. All of these kids. How many minutes did Mikey Williams play last year? How much did he play last year? What were his numbers last year at the Division I level? Right. And just a couple years ago, y'all talking about he's a pro.
That's what we need to talk about. We're going to stay on this topic.
He's in the transfer portal. He's in the transfer portal right now.
Yeah.
Dior Johnson was on the same team, highly visible, hundreds of thousands, millions of views on mixtapes. He's in the transfer portal, barely played last year at Central Florida, and is on like his 18th school from high school to college, something crazy like that. The fantasy of it. Oh, he looks great. It looks, but what does your numbers say? What is your production? The reality is, what is your production saying? What is actually happening versus what does social media believe? You can tell whatever story you want to tell on social media.
Absolutely.
And that's
absolutely.
And that's the problem. We have people telling stories on social media and then falling in love with an image and forgetting what the real thing is.
So when you say about you telling stories, right? That's what I feel like a write-up.
No, it's not.
I do feel like that though.
NBA,
it's like, yes, you're credible.
NBA teams and WNBA teams still have scouting departments. They still have people go out to games and watch games because what you can't always get on a video is seeing the conversation of the player in the tunnel, or you can't watch them in the tunnel before the game, or you can't watch them because you're not watching the bench when the player goes to the bench. You're not filming the bench. You're not watching their behavior on the bench.
That's true.
I can see how you are as a teammate. So
that makes sense.
Write-ups, all write-ups it's the same thing as video. Honestly, it happened before video,
right?
But it's the same thing as video before video. I'm telling you what I see. And here's a real reality that I know that a lot of scouts aren't going to say. People do listen to me in terms of this kid can play, this kid can't play.
Right.
But the main thing that they want from me is accurate information.
Right.
How do you say?
But I feel like that's any coach though.
But that's what I'm saying. So like I said, I can get someone to track you. I can't get somebody to give you a real scholarship. I can
Yeah,
call my boy.
I don't feel like anybody, like even what I do, like I don't guarantee offers. I guarantee you getting seen. Like,
And that's
you know what I'm saying? Like if you get in my program, my university, like it's 100%
right.
you're gonna get seen by
Yeah.
college coaches because they're on my page, or I can send them directly to them.
And
Like it's a guarantee.
that's because you're credible. We have a lot of again. I give me $5. I posted on my Instagram. Give me $5. I'll write about your kid and send it to all the coaches for $5. $5. You hustling parents for $5.
But on the flip side, like I said, if we go in the gym, you already know. You pretty much got an idea before you go to it. Like I'm gonna go to a tournament in Oklahoma, right?
Yep.
Like
You
I'm
have
gonna
a schedule.
I'm
You
gonna
have a
scan the
schedule.
schedule.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be like, okay, I know this team is good. Besides the people that booked me or whatever, right? I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna scan this. I'm like, man, I'm gonna try to find some talent today. You know what I'm saying? Besides who booked me or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like, so that's just by God's grace that I'm able to walk on their court and film them, rather than them saying before the tournament, hey, come check me out. For maybe let's say I was charging $5. Do you feel like that's wrong?
It's a difference between write-ups and videography, bro.
No. So
Videography is a certain.
even if I was writing kids up, like I was just going around.
I personally, I'm not a fan of it. I personally am not a fan of it
So you would never.
because you're
So sometimes you
because
would
your
never see a
credibility
kid.
because your credibility because what about the parent who okay? What about the parent whose kid can't play? You gonna write about him because they gave you $5, $20? You
Okay.
what are you gonna say?
Okay.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say about a kid who can't play for
Oh,
$20?
you can flip it though. You can flip it though. They pay
Yeah,
you $5, right? You can pay $5, but you don't have to send it to the coaches. You can write it up and send it to them for a evaluation. This is what I see.
and that's the question. People's credibility is trash these days. I cannot. I am not for sale. I will not. I just had an offer to go to a tournament, and the person told me. He told me how much. I said, "What you mean how much?" He said, "I have my budget is kind of unlimited. How much you want to be here?" And I said, "Unfortunately, I don't want to be paid to be here, and here's why. Because when you and here this again, this is me. I'm not. This is me.
Right,
This is
right.
me. Because when you pay me, now you feel like you can tell me what to write and who to write about and what to say. Because the reality, and here's the thing, you asked around the boys basketball circles in Dallas who Charles Campbell is. Charles Campbell is a truth teller. He's an honest person. I'm not going to gas you up. I don't get, again, you're not giving me $1. I get money from the university. Right. I work for the school. And in working for the school, I understand that head coach's job is dependent upon the players that he has on his team that can produce the success he needs to either keep his job or get a better job. Right. So why am I gassing? Why am I taking money?
Listen, man, do you need college coaches on you early, late? It doesn't matter. I'm Coming University got everything for you. Posted twice a month, 16,000+ followers, 450 plus coaches every month. And we just dropped the app. I'm Coming University got its own app, own platform where we got every access to every coach in America, D1, D2, NAIA, JUCO. It don't matter what level you want to go to and what level are you good enough for at the end of the day. Book a call in the description and let's get you seen and let's get you
offering a service that's not credible, gassing kids up, and somebody loses their job because of it. They're not going to get my service. They're not.
Could that kid play?
What?
That offered you the money?
No, it was a tournament. It was a tournament director.
Oh, tournament director.
Gotcha. Yeah, the person was running a tournament, and he said it. And I don't. You can't tell me. And I've been there before. So I used to work for a company. I'm not going to say their name, but I used to work for a company, and I went to a game. And at that game, I saw a kid who's he's in the NBA now. He was a sophomore when I saw him. He's in the NBA. And I was like, this is what I said about him at the time was this is the kid at the youngest. This kid has the highest IQ as a sophomore that I've ever seen. So I'm leaving the gym.
You had the right and said that.
Yeah. So I was evaluating him. I was there to see him. I saw some other kids.
Got you.
And so, but as I was leaving the gym, the company that I work for called me. and he said, "Oh, hey, we had a meeting with so and so. He decided he's gonna throw us some money. Hey, go over there and say hi and make sure you write something about this kid." What you want me to say that he was 1 for 23? Is that what you want me to say?
Do you feel like, I know this is your job, right? But say for instance, but I feel like that type of job is like different. Like, did you have a opinionated? Like, did you have an opinion to say something back to the company?
100%. I'm not a control. You can't man. I love basketball too much to cheat the game.
Right. So say for instance, you go watch the kid, right? Could you go
Mhm.
back and be like, hey, I know they paid, but he didn't really perform
Absolutely,
well.
100%.
So what would that conversation be like then?
I mean, if I remember the conversation correctly, it was just like, oh, okay, and then it just moved on. And obviously, I don't work for the company anymore, so, but
Gotcha.
but that was my decision. I actually turned in my resignation because there has to be credibility.
Hmm.
There has to be credibility on those
I don't
baselines.
feel like that was a wrong situation though. Like if the dude paid money and you went and gave your honest opinion, you told the company, like if they fire you from that, like from telling you, hey, he didn't
Exactly.
perform well, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like that
Exactly.
was a wrong instance. That was just like, shoot, they paid us. Go see if you can write something up on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel I think that was just
But no,
like,
but that's what I'm saying. He was investing in the company. So, oh, we're
oh, the
gonna
dude
there.
was
Listen, man. We all know about the AAU dad
right,
who's bankrolling the program, who's giving to
right,
the program, and these coaches promise minutes, and they give him minutes, and they do all of this other stuff, and the kid goes out there and looks terrible. He can't even play on he or she,
yeah,
but I'll say he because I'm on the
yeah,
boys' side. He
right,
can't even play on the court, and you
yeah,
have and here's the problem: you're taking from someone who has actually put in the work and who's actually can play on
yeah,
the court because
yeah,
somebody gave you $1.
yeah,
That's cheating the game, bro.
yeah,
That stuff needs to stop. But it's not gonna stop because it's been going on. It's been going on forever because these some of these summer coaches they need the money for the
yeah,
program. They
yep.
need the money. So hey, I'm gonna give Lil Johnny 10 minutes a game. And
Hmm.
in 10 minutes, Johnny done had 4 turnovers. He done got dunked on twice, and he's 0 for 7. We
Right,
went from a 10-point lead down by 2 in them 10 minutes that he was on the court. But because he gave you money, you can justify that. You can justify that one to the parents and players, but more importantly, can you justify that to yourself?
right, yeah. I think I'm just in a hard, like, because I guess I'm just on the video side of it, like, right, like.
Yeah, don't hate evaluators though,
Now I don't. No,
because
I
there
don't.
are
I
there
don't
are
hate.
credible there are credible evaluators. There are people that are credible. And like I said, college what is a college coach going to do? He's going to come to the
Right.
game and sit there
Yeah.
and compile notes and this and that. He's evaluating. That's what he's doing.
But I feel like as a college coach, I feel like I guess you're like a yes, yes and no, because a college coach is a college coach, right? You're the scout. The college coach knows what they looking for.
I do.
You necessarily maybe don't know what
No,
they're
no, no,
looking for.
no. I
You
do
just
know.
looking for
No, no, no. I know what I'm looking for because I spend time talking to college coaches. I know what kind of system you run. I know what size players that you like at your do you like big point guards? Do you like little point guards? Do
hmm
you want a lob threat or do you want a turn and face forward? Like I know I have put in the and again it goes back to credibility. This is what makes me credible. I'm not gonna bring you a kid that can't play in the half court and you're a half court team.
right,
I'm not going to do that. So there's a level of research, conversation, relationship that's built. I had a conversation when the transfer portal went off, my
hmm
phone wouldn't stop ringing. I couldn't get off the phone first day. I could not get off the phone. I hated my phone that first day.
right, right, right.
And I talked to a coach and he said, "Hey, I'm looking," and this was exactly what he said. "I'm looking for a guard that's 6'3" or taller and
Okay.
shoots 40% from the three-point line." So why would I send him? Why would I send you the 5'10" kid who shoots 22% from three?
So now, so with that conversation, how can you tell that if it's a specific high school kid? Let's say, for instance, like you wouldn't know those numbers unless it's a college kid. You know what I'm saying? Unless
We you can Well, one of the things that I will say that has happened that I do like is that high schools are becoming more involved in keeping accurate stats, keeping accurate information. Some of them are very much being creative in, the services. There's like Cerebro. Cerebro um, is a kind of an analytical service,
Right.
but
Hmm.
yeah, you can look at that, or you can do it the old school way. Track it yourself.
Right.
Get some game film, watch enough games, and track it yourself. But again, that's what makes you credible. It doesn't make me credible to say I'm Charles Campbell. I have a scouting service at Hoop DFW. Get my service.
Hmm.
Why? Why?
Right.
They're gonna ask me. They're gonna say why. Why? I was at a I was at a game. This would have been 2017. No, 20. It was summer of 2016 going into 2017. I'm at I'm at the Gasso. A team is playing DJ H5. If you know Stacy
Yep.
Houston, he used to have a program DJ H5.
Yeah.
They were playing. I'm sitting on the baseline. Around me are college
Okay.
coaches. College coaches. Um, the game before, they were all watching that game because there was a certain player there. And then when DJ H5 came on, a lot of the high major guys got up,
Hmm.
right? Well, Stacy had on his team a kid by the name of Jared Culver. You know that name, Jared
Yep.
Culver,
Hmm.
from
With the tech.
Lubbock, Texas. And so Tubby Smith and his assistant got up. Now, Lubbock, Texas Tech is in Lubbock,
Right.
right? He was at Texas Tech at the time. I took a chance on myself. They didn't have my service. They knew who I was, but they didn't have my service. I said,
Right.
hey coach, give me 5 minutes. You can watch. Hey, I just want you to see this kid. He lives in Lubbock. Blah blah blah. Jared Culver scored like 18 points in a row,
Damn.
and he tapped me on the shoulder. He said, how do I get you back to Lubbock? He said, thank you for that. How do I get you back? So then didn't see him again. Then we go to New York for EYBL. We're in EYBL in New York.
Hmm.
I see Tubby again in New York. I'm watching Jared had moved. He was playing with Pro Skills. So we go, they're playing all Ohio Red. I'm watching the game. Tubby walks up. He said, oh, you are? I was like, Jared, I was like, hey, I'm watching my guy. Boom. He did it again. He railed off like 18, 19 in a row.
Hmm.
We know the story. He ends up at Texas Tech. He
Right.
ends up a first round. And so we're getting on the plane going back to, he came to Dallas. I guess he was getting a connector to Lubbock. And while we're on the plane, he gives me his card. He says, hey, send your invoice to my secretary, and we'll buy your service. Credibility. It's a
Hmm.
chance, but nothing is guaranteed. And nothing is guaranteed in
Right.
life.
Right.
Like we've somehow, when I grew up in basketball, basketball was a picture of life. It
Hmm.
the coaches that we had would mirror life with it. Nothing is guaranteed in life, and you
Right.
have to take chances on yourself.
So were
And
you
if you
specifically, my bad for cutting you out, were you specifically watching Jared?
at,
Like you was going to watch him?
he was someone that I was very high on that a lot of people didn't know about because he was in Lubbock. So yes,
Got you.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
what was his offers before Tech?
Uh,
Because you said a lot
if I'm
of coaches were getting up and leaving.
Yeah, I don't know if he didn't have any or if he had very very minimal. He was not the player yet that had taken off. He did not take off until EYBL.
Gotcha.
He went crazy on the EYBL and he took off. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It was years ago.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
I've had a stroke since then, so my memory is a little a little
Okay.
different.
Okay.
But yeah, he wasn't a highly recruited prospect. And
Okay.
I'm not saying that to take credit. I'm just saying to show the power of an evaluator.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? The power of an evaluator is the ability through your relationships with college coaches to shine lights on players.
So where do you feel like there's a balance, I guess, between that? Because you need video, right? But I guess you also need those people, right? Because like even on the on the girl side, like you got like Jason Key, they don't video. You
And
got KP, they don't video. You got
Jason Key and who does Jason Key work for? ESPN.
yeah.
I knew Jason Key years ago when it was just Premier Basketball,
Hmm.
but it was the same. It's write ups. There's still value in everyone. 24/7 Sports, ESPN,
Hmm.
Rivals. They all have scouting departments and they all send people out to evaluate talent.
Right. So, but you still don't feel like it's valuable to pay for a write-up, though? Like,
I
if
feel
you
like you're a
saying they're so
compromise.
powerful, right? You
I feel
saying they're
like
so
you're a
powerful.
compromise. I could. You know, people ask, they see me in the gym, they ask, they do it. The one thing I'll do is, the one thing that I will do is, if somebody says, "Hey, can you watch my kid?" I will watch. I will.
Yeah. Okay.
But you have to be prepared for what I say. If you ask me your opinion,
Okay.
be prepared for me to be honest about it. Because I'm not in love with your child. That's not my child.
Right.
I don't love your child unconditionally. Like I'm watching them as a basketball player.
Right.
So if you want my assessment on them as a basketball player, I'll give it to you. You don't have to pay for that. I went to 5-star basketball camp my junior year going into my senior year. 5-star, you know, we're in a generation now. 5-star doesn't exist and people don't know. Everybody's been to 5-star. Jordan, LeBron, every
Mm-hmm.
player used to come through 5. I went to 5-star and I mentioned Tom Kachowski. He was there evaluating the camp and he did a presentation and talked to everybody about what he did. And that really, for me, that's really what started scouting for me. But he literally evaluated. He said he did, and I'm not going to, he literally said he evaluated every player. And then he said he could tell you levels. And after he gave his talk, I would say 100 kids rushed him. Hey, what's my level? What's my level? What's my level? What's my level?
Mm-hmm.
And he was rattling it off, talking to people. Hey, you know, I feel like you're a Division II kid. Hey, I think you can go to a Division III program. You're a D1 kid. There's still value, but you have to be ready for the honesty. And parents don't want to hear it because everybody wants to go D1 or bust. And we've lost the vision of the 40-year plan. We don't even talk about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Earn, Earning a scholarship, getting your degree, and then getting a job in the field in which you get your degree in and setting your family up. And now you can do that and you have NIL.
Right.
So now, not only can you earn a college degree, you can earn money that can help you start, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to get into, whether you want to grow that money through stocks and annuities and all of that other stuff. Like the opportunity in front of kids is unprecedented.
Right.
But
Yeah.
also the accountability is also. That's why there's 3,000 kids in the transfer portal right now.
Mm-hmm. So I I see the value in the value in the write ups for sure. Depending on who's writing them. You know what I'm saying? Like I
It's
see,
about who's
yeah,
writing.
who's
Yes,
writing.
it is. Who's writing?
Yeah. So I mean I see the writing. I see the magnitude of it depending on who's writing. Um on on the flip side, right? Let's say for instance, how many kids do you feel like you write up throughout a tournament?
Um, Tournaments 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Let's say live period.
Live period, man, bro. Oh man, I'm locked. Live period, I'm locked in. Like
Gotcha.
I'm locked in. Some of these tournaments, it start all the bad basketball start looking the same, and I'm kind of like fighting. But a weekend, man, you can do 100, 150, like 200 kids. Like if you're really locked in. So
Mm-hmm.
let me give you an example of what I do. So what I do, let's just say I have a 8 o'clock game, 8 a.m. game, right? I
Mm-hmm.
sit down, and 9 times out of 10, what I'll do just for my own to get me going is the first kid that scores a basket, I'll start watching them.
Yep.
I'll start,
Yep.
okay, let me watch that kid. And then as I'm seeing basketball plays, I'm jotting down more notes and I'm okay, this kid, blah, blah, blah. So in a game where there's 10 players on the court at a time, if it's a good, and here's the thing, some games don't have, listen, man, some games don't have college basketball players in them. I'm sorry, they don't. They don't.
That's very valid.
They don't.
I, I feel like this is my terminology, right? When I'm going around and I'm not booked, let's say for instance, I'm just floating around. I always tell myself there's at least one kid that can play at the next level in whatever game I go to, whether that's JUCO, D1, NAIA, D2. I feel like there's one kid out of 10, out of what 20 kids, one of those kids got to be able to play.
Some
So
a
you go around and it's 8 courts, right? That would be 8 people that's playing at the same time. They
right.
potentially got the chance to go
Yeah,
play.
but some AU teams need to hang it up though. Some of them need to hang it up because you don't have basketball players. But I do think there's a if there's D3 basketball players. There's NAIA basketball players.
Right.
There's JUCO basketball. So there is a level for everyone. There's NCCAA, some of
Yeah.
these non-NCAA associations and things. So that does exist. But again, the numbers say that there aren't any. Those spots don't like 500. So boys side, 500,000 kids.
Mm-hmm.
1% of 5,000 go D1. Another 1% go Division two, and another 1% go Division three.
Right.
So just think, so kids look down on other kids because, oh, you going Division three, but you're a top 3% hooper in the country.
Yeah.
What can you tell me if I'm a top 3% basketball player in an entire country?
And that's just that's D1 through D3. You didn't even say JUCO,
Exactly.
NAIA,
We haven't said it. Exactly. Exactly. But so evaluating a game, 10 players on the court, I try to leave that game with 5 to 6 evaluations. Now, an evaluation doesn't always mean, again, that you are a D1. I write about everybody.
Right.
That's one of the things that has helped me in the city and has brought me credibility is that, like, I'll give an example. Burtville, Trent Bowers. Trent Bowers is going to go play Division three basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Bowers is a very, very good high school basketball player.
Right.
I would be doing myself a disservice as an evaluator if I watch Trent Bowers play and and score the way that he scores and play the way that he plays and not evaluate. Like, that's, come on now. I'm only looking for not only looking for D1 kids. Now, I thought Trent was definitely, a low D1 to definitely a Division two basketball player for sure. I think he could have gone to a lower Division one level and done.
My bad, my phone died.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me. I was like, oh.
Yeah, my phone doesn't tell us.
But what I was saying is the value in being an evaluator, because I watch your shows and you always talk about the topic comes up a lot of having someone who's an advocate for you,
Right.
who's talking for you. That is one of the most important things because college coaches aren't going to be everywhere.
Right.
And here's another thing. College coaches aren't calling mixtape dudes asking them about basketball players.
Yeah.
Now they'll call someone like you
Mm-hmm.
who's providing the service, but also, like you said, let's be real though. You're an evaluator, bro. Your medium is just the video camera. But you're an evaluator though. You watch basketball and you know what you're watching.
Yeah.
You're not just hustling. See, my problem with the whole paying for write-ups thing is we're just hustling parents and we're playing on the idea that this parent or this kid wants to play college basketball. So I'll write something about it and send it to coach. What coaches do you know?
Right.
They don't even know who you are.
Right. And that's my biggest thing. Like no problem, no knock on anybody that's going to film, you know what I'm saying, do your thing. Like, you know what I'm saying, that may be your field. But like, I feel like as a parent, like, you gotta realize, like, and I'm not even trying to put money in my pocket, but let's say for instance, you got
put it in your pocket.
let's say you got somebody that's cold with the videography. They can make a movie of your game, right? Of your tournament the whole weekend, right? But then I come and I record and I'm just giving you simple highlights. But I got tons of college coaches that post me, so they gonna post this movie. You gonna get a lot of views on this mixtape, this movie, right?
And no scholarship offers.
No scholarship offers.
And see, so I'm working with a company. You put money in your pocket. There's a company called Revocruit. Okay. They are basically, what happens is, so the mixtapes and all that gets lost in the clouds and gets lost in space. Mm-hmm. Revocruit, what they do is they have a centralized space to where they can get the information you need to help your recruitment out immediately. Like, example, I have a kid that is very good. I'm very high on him. He's very good. He has a few offers, and I asked him for game film. Can I get some game film? Mm-hmm. Game film don't exist, but 150, 200 mixtapes exist.
Yeah,
that's part of the problem. Again, mixtapes are not. There's nothing wrong with it. They're not
Right.
bad, but it's entertainment.
Right.
So there's entertainment, and then there's stuff that's going to help your recruiting.
Yep.
And they don't mix. No college coach with the limited time that he has on campus, practices, workouts, all of the thing, recruiting, all of that. He doesn't have time to sit there and watch a 2-minute mixtape with NBA YoungBoy in the background. He probably only like NBA YoungBoy.
Facts.
You
Facts.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he can spend a minute and a half looking at an actual highlight film that's showing you how you are as a defender, how you are as a basketball player. So if you're a shooter, are you a playmaker? Are you a shot blocker? What you can assess someone and watch them through what you do, highlight film, game film. I can't, first of all, mixtapes are all about scoring.
Yeah.
They're all about scoring.
Now,
You're not going to go, most of the time, you're not going to that college and going to be the scorer.
Right. I feel like, and I tell everybody, so I'll tell all parents this. That's why I actually like start putting the games on YouTube, like the full games on YouTube, just and filming from a high standpoint to where you can see the floor.
Yes.
Just because I'm like, okay, I'm a college coach. I started thinking like a college coach. I'm like, all right, this is the platform. This is how I want to build the platform for coaches to come see. So how can I make it simple, plain? But I feel like my highlights on my Instagram, it's either a assist, a block, a steal, scoring. I'm not finna put you on the free throw line. I'm not finna put you getting a lot of rebounds. Warm ups. Like I'm not gonna put that in my videos, right?
Right.
So I feel like my highlights don't tell the whole story because you can't say, for instance, a kid don't score, right? A kid don't score, but they're running the floor hard every time. That's something my highlight. I'm not gonna put a 1-minute clip of you just running the floor hard,
right,
and you not touching the floor. So I feel like that's the purpose of a full game film.
It's like reading a book. You read the introduction. Your highlights are the intro. For a lot of times, it's the introduction. You're introducing play. I've seen players on your and I'm not heavily in girls basketball, but I see your highlights and I'm like, ooh, she looked like she could play. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? It's an introduction. It's like, here, pique my interest. Pique my interest in what.
Yep.
Boom. Okay, now and see. That's what happens in the recruiting cycle. Parents don't, a lot of them don't even know what the recruiting cycle is. They just think they're supposed to go from playing to offers. Oh, he played and she or he got an offer because they scored 25 against the kid who got 10 offers, and they don't even realize the cycle of, oh, I'm interested. Let me track you. Now I'm recruiting you. Let me date you.
Right.
Let me see, like they don't even understand
now,
that.
I do feel like that helps though. Say for instance, you line up against a 4 or 5 star.
Oh, for
and
sure.
you perform.
For sure.
It helps. It helps. I ain't gonna say it don't help. It helps.
No, for sure. But it doesn't. But again, it's not just because he going to Duke,
right?
And you scored 20 against the kid going
don't
to Duke.
Mean you going to Duke.
Don't mean that you finna get a Duke offer.
Yeah.
That's not what that means. But you've whoa, hold on. Who is the question? Who is that? That's the question. That's what I want kids to make me say. Like when I sit there and I'm watching a game, I want a kid to say, I want them to basically, through their play, walk up to me and introduce themselves. Hi, I'm so-and-so.
Right.
But it's based on how they play. Like I'm like, who is this kid? I want to be so frantic with what I'm doing because of how you're playing. And we don't have that. You want to send me a mixtape.
Right.
That, like you said, look like a movie, it looks great. And then you want me to say, well, what you think of the mixtape? I had somebody do this recently. Hey, what you think of the mixtape? I said it's a good mixtape.
Right.
I said, but I can't tell what type of basketball player.
Right. Yeah. I can't send this to no coach.
And I haven't gotten any more film after that.
Yeah. And I feel like this is me personally. Like, if you want to do that, always ask for your raw film. Like you can make a mixtape, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta pay for entertainment and you gotta pay for recruitment.
But do you have to pay for entertainment though?
I mean, you don't have to. That's a one.
Because
but I feel like the raw highlight is a need. You need that.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Like the entertainment side of it. Let's just say you're in high school. You have all these mixtapes, and we know this happens all the time. You have all these mixtapes. You get all these followers, and then you don't play high school basketball no more. I mean, you don't play college basketball. You don't. After you graduate, you don't play basketball anymore. What did you just what did we spend all this money on? What did we do this for? What did we do this for?
That's a valid point.
Why do I have okay, it's because of social media. Hey, there's nothing wrong with growing your social media following and doing all that. But even there, because I'm gonna jump into NIL for a second. Even there, you're not even putting together a good brand to make you marketable with NIL. You just showing back on your page. All it is basketball highlights. We can't see your personality. We don't know any of your hobbies. We don't know anything about you that would make you marketable for that brand. You have. I remember when NIL dropped. This kid was a football player, but he always had a dog. He was in college and he had a dog, and on his page he always had his dog and all this other stuff. He got an NIL. Him and the dog got an NIL deal. Him and the dog.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, even we're not even being good entertainers. You just doing the same thing that you see the next person do because you're sitting there getting a mixtape from the same 50 people sitting on the baseline filming the same stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's the illusion that's giving off right now. It's kind of like, oh, if I get a mixtape, I'm finna get seen. Like it's like, nah, bro. Like
I watch mixtapes for entertainment. I don't look for basketball players.
And I started off doing that. Like if you go to the page that actually like got hacked.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. Doing that, like I feel like that's what got me in the game though. Like got me started. Like you know what I'm saying. Like put a little mix here, put your creativity. You know what I'm saying. Like I feel like that's a brand of media that you kind of need because at the end of the day, ESPN have it. Like all these networks have it for entertainment to promote. You know,
to grow their brand,
right?
Entertainment,
right?
But
I feel like.
But have you seen the kids that are like, what's the kid? When Melo was in high school at Spire, there was that one kid that was balding already in high school. He was like balding. I can't think.
Michi Terry.
Michi, yes.
Yeah.
Social media star.
Yeah.
Where did he play college basketball?
He didn't go play college basketball.
I'm just saying, where did he go? We don't know.
Oh yeah.
Where's Melo?
I recently just seen him on a freaking.
Where's Melo? Where's Melo?
Yeah.
There's a difference, man. There's a difference, and you have to understand that some of these videographers are producing content for their brand because they have people watching their brand.
Right.
That does not mean that you're going to be a college basketball player, let alone all of these titles, all of these clickbait titles. Right. Why is this kid not ranked? You want me to tell you why he's not ranked? I can tell you why he's not ranked.
Right. Yeah.
Because this highly edited video shows the 10 shots that he made. It didn't show his poor body language. It didn't show his lack of defense. It didn't show it didn't show that one motor. His motor's a 1. He don't even play hard. But he got a nice mixtape with some dunks on fast breaks.
Now, and he was a defensive oriented kid too. Like he really wasn't a crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't tell the whole story. But we now I have videographers in Dallas putting up posts. Why is he not ranked? The number one this, the number one that, the best this, the best that, the best this. And understand it's for clickbait. Understand it's to run them numbers up. And understand that you can get paid through social media. You run your numbers up.
Right. So I want to play devil advocate because I don't necessarily call kids pro, but I do say
I've learned
this kid is the best shooter in the state, or this kid is the best playmaker in the state, or this kid is the best. Like I recently just said it on the podcast, like not too long ago. Like I was saying, like because I'm heavily on the girl side, but I didn't start saying that until now. Yeah. Like, and I've been in the game since 2018, 2019. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just started saying because I've been around the game and I've seen multiple players throughout the state. You know what I'm saying? Like I would not start. Like on the boys' side, like it'll be another 4 years before I can actually like say, "Oh, this kid is the top player in the state." I couldn't come to the boys' side and be like, "Oh, he the top player in the state." Oh, he the best point guard.
You ain't seen the whole state.
I ain't seen the whole state yet in the boys'
Yeah.
side. Like it's not valid, and that's why I feel like I'm so valid and credible on the girls' side because I didn't start out that way.
And
Like,
see,
and I don't believe in ranking systems. Like, I get it, like it's good for like NIL purposes going to the next level, but like I told myself I would never have a ranking system. Like I feel like it's
yeah,
pointless.
I have rankings and I had rankings.
You for
And
individual players?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
There were not, it's not based on politics, and I'm not trying to sell you anything to get in my rankings.
Mhm.
It's one, rankings are opinion. It's your opinion.
Yeah,
Let's,
for sure.
so let's be clear. It's my opinion, you
Mhm.
know. But I'm high on player. Hey, I feel that that kid is the best player in the
Gotcha.
state. I feel, I will do that. But it's based on, like you said, me watching the whole state. There's a
Right.
reason why there's a reason why I came back in June last year. So I had a stroke in May, came back in June. So when I came back, it was like a whole new world. Now, there are kids that I saw.
Have you ever had the best socks in the world? Nope, you ain't. You don't know why you lying like that. Listen, ASG socks is the best socks in the world. Comfortable, snug fit, and you don't need to double sock them. Listen, the socks that the pros wear, these are ASG socks. Listen, man, buy two, get one free, plus free shipping. Less than $50, man. Use code I'm coming to get these socks. Get these socks today. Stop playing.
Like like Cam McGilver and all them, they were like fourth and fifth graders when I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw them. I don't evaluate fourth and that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, yeah, we
But
can
I
talk
don't
about that
evaluate.
later. Yeah.
I don't evaluate elementary school kids whatsoever.
Right.
I enjoy watching I just enjoy watching basketball.
Right.
But I'm not going to evaluate. But there's a reason why I'm taking my time to produce my next ranking because I need to watch and I need to see everybody.
Right. Yep.
Like you can't
Yep.
just say, oh, he's the number one based off of one day at a camp. You can say
Mm-hmm.
he was the best player at this
Camp.
camp,
Yep.
but you can't
Yep.
say, oh, he the best player in the state because at this camp. I've learned a hard lesson, man. When you're in elite basketball, when you're because I didn't do it this year, but I've gone to the USA basketballs, I've gone to McDonald's All-Americans,
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Brand All-Americans, Marshall County Hoop Fest, the really elite event. That we have an amazing event in the
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving Hoop Fest. The
Right.
Thanksgiving Hoop Fest is one of, if not the best tournament in showcase
And
event during their season. But if you saw how many kids didn't make it, you would be real slow to say that somebody's a pro.
bro, that's the worst, bro. We're gonna have to talk about that another time because
It makes me sick.
I hate that saying. Like,
You can go look at McDonald's. You can go to McDonald's All American website, look at their roster history, and tell me how many of those kids are not playing pro basketball
yep,
and did not play or
yep,
got cut or
yep.
never touched an NBA floor. But we're saying in the culture we say, well, McDonald's All American kids are pretty much guaranteed pros. No, they're not. They're
They're guaranteed
I
opportunity.
mean, yeah, but I'm talking about people say those kids are guaranteed pros. We say, we do that, and that's the problem because so many things have to go your way to
Mm-hmm.
become a professional basketball player.
Right,
So many things have to go your way. And the way the NBA has changed now, oh yeah. They're not even playing with you. You get in there, you
right.
might be in there for 6 months and you'll never see it
And
again.
that's why I feel like they get an opportunity, whether that's in the G League, whether that's in the NBA. Like, I feel like if you a McDonald's All American, if you have a pretty solid career in college, like you're gonna get a shot.
You'll
You
get a
know what I'm saying?
shot.
Like you'll get a
But
shot.
sometimes
Not
Scott,
necessarily saying you're gonna stick, but you'll get a shot.
yeah, you might. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
you might,
Yeah.
because there's so many things that have to go your way.
Right.
You have to pick the right college to go to. That's one of the main pieces
That's
is
number
picking the
one.
right school.
Yeah, that's
You
number
got to
one.
go to a school that's going to let you play and showcase what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And every coach ain't going to do that. We know that. Every coach ain't going to do you like that.
Right. Nah, that makes sense, man. But yeah,
But
I mean,
you are an evaluator,
yeah.
though. You just have a video camera. You just don't do the write-ups. You don't do it. And at one point, I told you we were talking that when we were at Denton.
Mm-hmm.
I held a video camera. You can go on Hoop DFW's YouTube page,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some raw footage there. There's some stuff. I held a video. I couldn't stand it because in me in my heart of hearts, I'm a writer.
Right.
That's who that's who I am, and that's the medium by which I'm able to, say and do the things that I do. But yeah, I don't hate videographers. I don't hate it. But I was in the game when I started in the game. Brad Ball is life. His name is Brad Ball was life now. But
Mm-hmm.
Brad, when people saw Brad, you knew a player was really there
Mm-hmm.
because, to my understanding, you couldn't pay Brad to come film you. He was coming to watch the big boys. He was coming to watch the real producers.
Right.
He was not coming because you paid him. And now we're going to skip out on the game across town because I got money to come over here and film this, and you actually aren't watching the real basketball player.
God, Lee, that's so tough, bro. Because I feel like that's how so many kids get missed out on, right? Let's say, for instance, right? Because I get this a lot. Right? These instances, right? And I talk to this about other videographers. Let's say, because it's all ties into the recruitment that we're talking
Yeah.
about. Let's say, for instance, they pay you to come film them, right? They don't necessarily perform, but somebody else performs. Do you feel like you got your money's
But
worth?
see,
Because I
that's
feel
what I'm
like I
saying.
do. Like, even if that kid don't perform, and I get a decent game, and somebody else perform, whether that's on the team or the opposite team, I feel like it's a dub for me because I'm an evaluator at the end of
Well,
the
let
day.
me ask
I
you
get
this.
to post that content.
Let me ask you this. Would you charge the other people? If you come to watch
Nah.
player A and player B destroys player A and they get would you then charge player B, or would you that's all I'm saying.
Because
We have
I already got paid
we
to come
have
there.
we have people now who are they're getting so first of all, you're getting media credentials. You're
Okay.
getting credentialed as media. There's rules and etiquette to being a person in media, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
there are rules and etiquette. And then now you're filming somebody, and then you're cornering mom and dad in the corner saying, "Oh, I filmed so and so. It'll be 170." I didn't ask you to come over here and film my son. I didn't ask
Mm-hmm.
you to be here. Why are you cornering me? Want to charge me now for a mixtape? We gotta stop that type of stuff, man.
Okay, hold on.
We
Hold
got
on. Hold on. Hold
to
on.
stop it.
Hold on.
We
Hold
gotta
on. I'm
stop
about to play
that.
devil advocate now. I'm about to play devil advocate. Let's say, for instance, you was there to film somebody else. Your kid performs, right? And let's say the kid that people they hit you up, right? The other team, somebody that was killing the other team, they hit you up. Then I feel like you
Yeah, they
charged.
hit you up. They hit you up, but not.
Oh, you talking about reaching
I'm
out
talking
to?
I'm talking about watching games, and
Okay.
then right after the game is over, you go find who mom and dad is and say, "Hey, I'll make you a mixtape for $200."
Oh yeah, I'm not chasing you down.
That's
I'm not
but
chasing you down.
we
Yeah, I'm
have that going on.
not chasing you down. But
We
nah, you
have
can hit me up.
we have that
Yeah.
happening. And see, here's the thing. The thing I love to do, the one thing that I love to do as an evaluator is finding talent that ain't nobody ever seen.
Yep. Yep.
Let me
And
be
that's
in
why I
let
say,
me be in that back gym, or let me be at that 8 a.m. game, or let me be at that 8 p.m., 9 p.m. game, and I'm burnt out and you just blow it out the water. Oh yeah. Marcus Garrett, who played at Skyline, who played at Kansas, I think he's back in the NBA now. I think he's back with the Charlotte Hornets. Marcus Garrett, when I found Marcus Garrett, he was playing prime time basketball.
mhm.
6'7" point guard playing on the prime time circuit. Nobody, evaluation wise, watches prime time basketball.
Right, right.
So I watched him one time, and I played, and it's funny because I played with his uncle. I played basketball with his uncle. We were on the same minor league team. And so I'm watching this kid bring the ball down, and I'm like, why is this 6'7" kid bringing the ball down like this? And why is he good?
Mm-hmm.
And so he just dominated. That competition was lower. He dominated. And so then I learned who was on. I'm like, bro, this is, yeah. So then I waited. Here's the thing. I waited until I saw him against legit competition.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the exact same thing against legit competition.
Right.
Well, moving into high school season, I used to do play-by-play with Friday Night Glory. We used to live stream games, and I would do the play-by-play.
Mm-hmm.
And the game that I picked was Skyline versus Irving MacArthur. Marcus Garrett versus Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones had blown up to the point after blowing up on the EYBL that it was McDonald's All-American talk, high major basketball talk. And I said, Marcus Garrett. And everybody's like, what who is Marcus Garrett? Marcus Garrett? What? Who is Marcus Garrett? After that game, they knew exactly who Marcus Garrett was. I love finding talent that's what I love to do. I enjoy that the most out of all of it.
Right.
Out of all of it. So what would I look like if I'm giving up my time, my effort, my energy? I run to Marcus's people like, well, yeah, y'all pay me to write about him. No, you know what that does when I write about Marcus Garrett and he then goes to Kansas, he gets all of these accolades and he ends up in the NBA. They look at me and say, oh, you're the credible guy. You're the credible guy. Not, oh, you hustled me out of 200. That $200 pales in comparison, or whatever the number is.
Right.
Pales in comparison to the credibility I build myself. You know why? Because when I find somebody like Marcus Garrett, I can get off of that 10, 15, 20 more universities.
That makes sense.
And at that time, my service was $600. So I'm gonna hustle you for this little bit of money, or am I gonna build a business and now add on because I found this kid and they know, oh, if I want to, who you got? I got 20 new schools at $600 per school.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But for me, it's all about the credibility. That's what it's about. It's about the credibility. It's about being an honest evaluator. It's about staying away from the politics and the BS and all of that, and working on your craft. Have a mentor. Do you have a mentor? Do you have somebody who's showing you? Are you learning from someone? The person that I mentored now works for 24/7 Sports, Brandon Jenkins. I feel accomplished because, and he came to me early on and wanted to work and he had work ethic, and he would call me, we would talk for hours, and he would ask questions, and when he called me and told me he signed with 24/7 Sports after getting his degree at the University of Texas and walking on at the university, I was like a proud dad, bro.
Right. But
we're in the business now, and I'm ranting. I'm kind of off track here, but
yeah.
But we're in the business now of a lot of this competition and all this. Like, why do we have 50 people on the baseline filming the same thing, and y'all all live in Dallas?
Listen, man, we're gonna answer this one question. We finna get off of here, man. It says, do you think videographers play a role in recruitment? If so, put a percentage on it, and on how much of a player being recruited is attributed to their videos or highlights.
Listen, videographers, again, you have to classify mixtapes and highlights.
Right.
A mixtape is not going to get you recruited
at all.
It is for entertainment purposes. Entertainment. Highlights now. A well put together highlight tape gives you a very good, solid introduction to college coaches. Because what are they going to do in practice? They watch practice of their own at the school, of their own school. They watch it. College coaches watch tape.
Right.
So if you're able to show how you can affect the game positively, it will help your recruitment. So videographers are important. I think they're highly important. Every kid should have film of their games, and then at the end of every season should compile a highlight tape that shows them in several different situations that pertain to college basketball. Not just dunking, not just shooting threes, not doing crossovers and people falling. That's not gonna get you recruited.
Right.
Julian Newman had the craziest highlights of them all, and he couldn't even score at a D2 NAIA school.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, videographers are important to your recruitment, because how are you going to show college coaches who you are? How are you going to introduce yourself?
Yep. Especially if they already know you.
You have to think they have a limited amount of time. I don't sit on the phone with college coaches for hours, and they have stuff to do.
Yep.
So if I'm able to send him, again, I got on the, hey, do you know this kid at the school? No, I don't. Send me some film. Got you. Boom. Sent you. Boom. Right then and there. How many parents? How many of you have game film? A highlight tape. They're not gonna watch no hour. They're not gonna do that. But how many of you have a 2 minute, a minute and 30-second highlight tape that if I asked you for it right now, you could send it to me and I could send it to a college coach?
Yeah. Gotta have it on the spot, man.
You have
Gotta have it on the spot.
you have to have it on the spot, and that's what I was saying. You know, I'm working with this. I signed up with this company now called Revocrew, and they compile everything for you, height, weight, phone. They do it all for you, and then they have 80% of college coaches on their platform, and so sending that information. But you have to have it though. You have to have that information. You have to have it. That is more valuable than you spending the money on a mixtape. Mixtapes are fun. They're keepsakes. They're all of that. But highlight tapes, you need it. You need it.
All right, man. And we definitely gonna have to run this back. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We're gonna have to run this back another morning. I like the morning session. This is good. It's something to kind of get it out of there. get the positivity, get the negativity out.
You crazy.
Positive for the rest of the day. But nah, I enjoyed this. You gave a bunch of good information. I got a lot of respect now for the writers, man.
I was gonna say you can't kill us, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man. My mentors in the writing world are McDonald's voters who've been in the industry for 20, 30 years. One of my favorite people is Frank Burleson. He's a West Coast guy, but he evaluated Connie Hawkins. Like someone who's seen basketball from the 70s until now is someone that's valuable.
Right.
Those people are valuable and they're trusted and respected. And when coaches start recruiting you, ask them who they talk to in the city. That's what you need. Hey, who do you talk to? Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, stop hating the writers, man.
Yeah.
Because you're an evaluator yourself. You just do it through video.
Gotcha. Makes sense. All right, man. Appreciate your time and have a great rest of the day.
Oh, you too, bro.
All right, bro.